Hello, it's Daniel Perez. I'm from Central Coast Kenpo Karate and continuing the purple belt technique drills, quarantine style, as well as if you were making contact or teaching it full on. Okay, so I'm going to take leaping crane today. As we know, leaping crane in Kenpo is taught with a step through right punch. Okay, there might be some variations with other type of attacks, but that's how we generally teach it, ideally. So obviously we have the parry, middle knuckle fist, and the step to the one-legged stance all together. But the timing is roughly the most important part. It's getting the student to time the step, the hands, and the rake. So basically being able to 1, 2, kick, drop, elbow. Okay, it's a whole technique. That's our base. Obviously extension we have. I'm not going to cover extensions right now. Maybe in the future I'll do some extension drills after I get through all the ideal techniques. All right, let's carry it on. Leaping crane, crucial when you're first being taught to do leaping crane. Inward parries are brand new for a student. If they learn reversing mace, then obviously that student has been exposed to it. But reversing mace is taught to move away with our inward parry. And purple belt, we're taught to come forward and engage with our inward parry. So it follows that theme of stepping towards the attacker, like in short form 2, things like that. But let's carry on. So we're going to take a horse stance. And I would do is, again, isolate your inward parry. Up the center to the corner. Center to the corner. Center to the corner. Center to the corner. And we do this with a water noodle, obviously. So when we would actually have the students do this, I would get a stick. Since we're in quarantine or we're trying to keep our social distance as well as limit some of the contact, take a water noodle, take a stick or a club, and go right towards them. Go right to the chest, and they got to be able to move here. And you'll know they'll do it incorrect if their hand comes out. I notice this can be a big issue for some students, or Kenpo is trying to teach it to their students, or just parries in general, whatever martial arts you're training in. So if I was here, what tends to happen is this. So by the time this comes together, that line of action, which is the right punch coming towards us, we're going to eat that action, okay? Because we didn't beat the action, we ate the action, right? So with that being said, you want to take this first. You want to have, obviously, have the student shoot the hand because that's their shield and that's going to be their block. So once they shield, then they can take the hop along with the rake. So it's going to teach them how to isolate that, and I guarantee you can spend a half hour on just that part. And that's kind of what I did today with the techniques I taught earlier for some of the young students. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I first teach the leap, just because I have a couple props, and I'll go back to the parry right now. But just to kind of go over how the leap works, and so what I do is I have the student go here, and then I have them hop over here to that corner, all right? So I have them take that step and balance, okay? So like if we were going to do the leap, if we step too far to the side, we might be able to get them, might not. So that's a different drill, and I'll talk about how you can take the step here, take the step here, or take a bigger step, a bigger hop, okay? And that's going to be based on where the attacker's leg ends up with the kick. So first, I just generally go to the 45 just to give them some balance. They hop, balance, and then they come here. So they're right in front of the bag. They're going to hop off the side and balance, okay? And you have their hands here. And this is good for kids that are like 5, 6 years old. You know, any belt level can work just that basic. And it teaches the young ones how to balance and how to be in control of their body, which is focusing. So the skill is being able to tell them, all right, step and hold, 1, 2, and come back. And believe me, that is a challenge, especially for the young ones. And when it comes to some of the older guys, like teens, adults, or even the tens, the youth, they can still work on this on both sides. Step here, then repeat. Step here, then repeat. Hop, leap, then repeat. Hop, leap, then repeat. Now at the kick. Hop, knife edge, then repeat. hop, knife hitch, then repeat. And it teaches them how to balance, but also at the same time, how to be accurate with their kick. Now, let's go into some body. Hook. Yeah, get a little louder on that. Back over to working with some of the props. Let's go to the parry. Showed you a little bit of how to teach the leap with the small target bag. At home, they can use a shoe, any item, just to teach them how to cut a corner, leap, and balance on the one-legged stance. Let's isolate the inward parry real quick. So I'm going to have the student assume we already showed the student motion. We showed them how to go to the center and move it away. So if I get my first noodle, she goes right up the center and moves it away. Right to the center, moves it away. And we're going to pretend that this is the punch, the fist, so we can teach them how to be able to wear the strike, which is the wrist, which is checking the wrist, going right for that part. If I go here, there it is. She's not going to let me get her, okay? Okay, now, and it teaches them how to be relaxed. What tends to happen is sometimes they go way too hard. So hit it super hard here, go. And then that happens. So it's going to teach them a good lesson not to go right now super hard, but to be relaxed, slow down, and be in control. And that could be somewhat challenging for a young student, because a lot of times students want to go fast all the time, especially kids, right? Young people. So let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now, obviously, if they take a big circle, is that hand? I'm going to get her. Take a big circle is the other hand. I'm going to get her. So you see? So that's one thing it's going to teach us, is how to not let that big circle occur. So again, boom. That's how it should go. Now, you know how you make it fun? You fake. Fake a little bit. Don't fake that close. That's not fair. Obviously, fake from a distance, and boom. Now, you can make a game. If you get the student, they have to owe you 10 jumping jacks or 15 jumping jacks if they weren't focused. So if you had a couple students here, let's say she was focused. Let's say this person wasn't, and I poked them. Oh, 10 jumping jacks. Okay, so it teaches them how to stay engaged with you, right? All right, so now let's take it with the hop. Let's assume we did the bag hop drill, okay? So feet together, and now what's going to happen, I'm going to come in, and she has to take the parry first, then the leap. Okay? So obviously right now, this is how you do it without having to make contact with the student. Okay? Then you vary up the speed. Okay, just like that. So you see how it teaches them how to get that motion in. It's the same effect if I was using my punch. So obviously let's go to now contact, which is more of how it would be on a body, right? I come in, it's gonna shoot it out. That's it. So she's getting pressure, redirecting, and she's timing the step. So we're gonna do it incorrect. So now take a wide. So if I come in, that's what's gonna happen. She has more risk of getting punched. And the students are gonna realize that once they've been hit with the noodle a couple times, or even with the hand hitting the chest a few times. Right? So once again, I go here, boom, she's going to check it. If they have this pretty good, you can do mirror side. So parry was this hand now. So if I can come in here, there's the other side. Again, teaching them how to be in control of right and left. Just like that, okay? All right, so that's one way that's fun about that. Now, let's isolate the knife hitch kick, or the side kick that goes to the back of the knee. So, the knife hitch kick. So if I were you, I would break it up. I would get a bag, like a shield. Other side. Go ahead. Okay, see how that works? So you can actually do that, which is cool. You can bring it down and teach them how to isolate it. Now let's do it with a leg. Okay, so that's one way you can do it without contact. Here's with contact. So my foot steps in, she's going to respond to just my leg now. And then kick the back of the knee. Now, I'm going to do 3 steps once she has that down. I'm going to step short. I'm going to step in deep. And I'm going to step out slightly. So now she has the choice of hopping 3 times for now. If I step forward, short, she's not going to take a big hop, a little hop. If I take a big step towards her, she's going to take a bigger hop or base hop.
Yeah.
If I step out this way, she has to take a much bigger hop on that.
Yeah.
Okay? So, what's going on is now we're teaching the student how to gauge the distance on their hop. Because this is a little bit more now going into what if phase. What if my foot steps forward completely, short slightly, or off to the side a little more? Okay? So now we're working 3 dimensions of it. Forward, side, you know, the 3 steps, the 3 angles. So if we step forward, deep. She responds, I step short. She doesn't take too big of a step. I step here, big leap, takes out. Okay? And you can do that on both sides and however you want to do it. Which is good. Okay. So now we're going to take this finger action, which is the middle part. Okay, so go on this side.
Yes, sir.
So she's going to throw a punch, and I want the student to just parry and use the fingertips to slap the ribs. Okay, just that. Boom, boom. Don't have them hop yet. I would do now is just go parry, slap. The fingertips to whip. Okay? It teaches them how to get the middle knuckle fist a little more in control that way, right? So then, now you can try to put everything together. So they're going to parry, rake, leap, and then take out the whip. Okay? And from there. Okay? So do it one more time. Go slow. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? The deep step, the short step, stepping off to the side and punch while the punch is coming in. So it's going to again teach the student, do I take a big leap? Do I take a small leap? Or do I take the average leap, the normal leap, right? So those are the ideal ways that I teach leaping crane. There's other ways we can do it too, which is really cool. I mean, you have so many different variations to teach it. But to be able to teach the student how to be in control of 3 weapons is a challenge. They have to get in control of making this work. They got to be in control of this. And they got to be in control of this, right? And as we know, I'm going to use these noodles as a reference. And this is one way I explain it to you. Come here real quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, if we were going to create an X like this, that's going to be hard for someone to get past. So put your arms straight. You're right, this one. Okay. So in other words, if I was going to do leaping crane like this, wide, and her punch comes in the center, she's going to beat the circles. The line is going to be faster, as we know that, right? But if I take the hands from where they're at and create an X motion like this, that's what we're doing. Up and slicing. So you're creating like an X. So if my hand is here, I'm going here. Boom. So you see how my hands come up into like an X format. So I take this almost as a lifting, raking motion, not just a horizontal inward raking motion. I actually come up. So if we had the body here, so let's go with this arm. So if I had this here, so as you can see, commonly this might happen. That leaves us to getting punched. But if I come up here, diagonal, then I have a much safer position. Plus it puts me in a universal guard or reverse guard, right? Universal primarily. But I'm going to go here. And I'm going to come up from point of origin. So she's sideways. Again, I'm going to rake here. Bam! Up was a knuckle fist. I'm not really going to go sideways, right? It could get, as she comes in deep, I could get jammed here. Here, I can at least escape it coming under, which is a lot easier. I can rake it going up. Pop! While this is going here, straight to the triangle, this is going to meet it. Right there, right? So again, we're creating this angle to cancellate her punch. So like an angle of cancellation, all right? So I'm not going to let her get that punch in because I'm going to I'm going to cover my vitals. It's going to teach a student how to do this, which then leads into like dance to death, right? And obviously you have other techniques that can go with it. But for now, since it's leaping crane, that's one thing we can show them, is how to develop this strike at the same time, this strike coming over, and then putting them together here. And then obviously we'll carry on to the second half of the technique later. All right, I hope this helped you out. I appreciate, guys, that hopefully this is helping you. I'm just trying to get back to the Kenpo world and to the martial arts community. Again, we are still dealing with the COVID, and we're still dealing with quarantine and trying to adapt best we can. So I've been doing a lot of different ideas for our students in our karate school to be able to teach them good Kenpo, same time being able to be safe while we train, and at the same time helping others best we can. We all have to stick together, and we all have to do our best to get through it as a team. All right, so very good. I'm very happy to hopefully be helping you out. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe and like the channel, please. That helps us out a lot. As well as like us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find us there. And you guys have any questions, you can PM me or message me personally. Hopefully, maybe you can get one or two things out of it, right? And that's kind of what we do. We're just here to help share knowledge and be able to see another perspective. All right, thank you, guys. Enjoy this, and you have a great day.
Thanks for watching the video. Click on the bell and subscribe to the YouTube channel.